We've had all the things are listed here. Many of you know about my work with autism, and certainly we started with developing a better policy, a strategic plan with autism and neurodevelopmental disabilities. We now also have a much more progressive mental health law. We have a we've updated it from the Lunacy Act. We have really progressive policies. This is evidence-based, research-based information that has been translated into policy. We have a strategic plan that encompasses 14 sectors of areas. So it's not just looking at what can be done within the public health system, what can be done within the education system. How does mental health get addressed within disaster management and planning? How can it be addressed within the local or rural development program? When you think about it, if you aren't able to access the roads, if you're not able to get permission to access services, if you don't have permission to set up clinics, that falls under their purview. It's going to affect your mental health. So it takes into all of that into account, and we've developed a very comprehensive strategic plan, and which we hope will impact people of our country. So the policy guiding the strategic development plan is to ensure mental health and well-being of all people. So we look at well-being, we look at prevention, in particularly in a country and culture that you mentioned, where it's very stigmatized. Our belief is that we go to the doctor when we're ill. So we don't go when we're sort of not feeling very well. We don't go when we cannot cope with our stressors. We don't talk to anybody because we shouldn't, because that's, sharing public information with strangers. So there's a lot of factors. Stigma is very complicated, and particularly if you're experiencing something that is very misunderstood, that, what do we call mental health professionals? Pagla doctor, right? So you're already called crazy before you get any help. So you're already a doctor or a mental health professional that's kind of, you're kind of crazy to be dealing with people who are crazy. So you've already stigmatized, you've already signed off this person that they're incapable of doing anything for themselves. And so how are you ever going to really look towards being more empowered or doing better when you've got the label that says you can't do anything correctly? So the aim of this policy and the strategic plan is to ensure that the human rights of persons with a mental health condition are preserved, that they're involved in the decision-making process, and that the goal is not just to provide them treatment, but to ensure that ultimately they're included in the community and participate in their family life and within their community. So taking them away from our traditional mental health treatment approach of, giving them a diagnosis, putting them away, they'll get better locked up in essentially a jail cell. No, they're not going to get better that way. We all know this after the pandemic. We do better when we are with others, okay? If you are separated, you are not going to do better. So if we are truly going to treat people with mental illnesses, then we need to make sure that they have a purpose in life, that they live with those where they are accepted, where they're treated with kindness, where they perform something that gives their life meaning in whatever form. So the whole strategic plan is designed along those lines.
SMR project আপনার মেন্টাল হেলথ অ্যাওয়ারনেস ইভেন্টস এটা করতেছি আর মেইনলি যে আমাদের যে কমিউনিটিতে মেন্টাল হেলথ একটা বহুত বড় একটা সমস্যা তো আমরা চাইতেছি যে কল সেন্টারের মাধ্যমে যে কেউ যদি ফোন করে আমাদেরকে উই ক্যান হেল্প দেম অ্যান্ড উই হ্যাভ দ্য অ্যাক্সেস অন দ্য NHS as well which one we can refer them to NHS direct access because when you call the NHS it takes time and you have to explain a lot of things and if you're not speaking English then it's becoming quite difficult. So SMR is the platform. You can call them, right, explain them in your own language, and then we refer to them on the NHS.